FBI, open up. That's right. Controversy has erupted around Juanita Bynum and her so-called 1,033 and $333 miracle seed, and the internet is buzzing. From viral social media clips to heated debates in online forums, people are questioning the legitimacy of her claims, the accountability behind the numbers, and what this really means for her followers. By the end of this video, you'll see why this story isn't just about money. It's about faith, influence, and a controversy that could have legal and spiritual consequences. Juanita Bynum has long been a prominent figure in the world of ministry, known for her powerful preaching, tear-inducing worship sessions, and influence over thousands of devoted followers. But recently, she has found herself at the center of a storm, this time not for her sermons or spiritual guidance, but for something far more controversial, the 1,033 and $333 miracle seed. In this video, we're breaking down exactly what these numbers mean, why they've caused such a frenzy online, and what insiders and critics are saying about the situation. You'll learn the full story behind the so-called miracle seed, the evidence and claims that have been shared publicly, and the reactions that have sparked heated debate across social media and beyond. We'll examine how Juanita Bynum has presented this offering to her audience, the promises attached to it, and the backlash from skeptics who question the ethics, legality, and authenticity of the practice. This is not just a story about money, it's a story about influence, trust, and faith being tested in a very public way. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why this controversy has people asking hard questions about religious giving, accountability, and what it really means to follow a spiritual leader in the modern age. But to understand why this has gone viral and why emotions are running so high, we first need to look at how the miracle seed originated and why it gained so much traction in the first place. To fully understand the controversy surrounding Juanita Bynum, we need to go back to where it all started, the introduction of the 1,033 and $333 miracle seed. For years, Bynum has encouraged her followers to sow seeds, financial offerings intended to bring spiritual blessings. But these latest numbers took the concept to a new level, sparking intense debate and widespread attention online. The 1,033 and $333 amounts were presented as special prophetic offerings during one of her virtual events. According to Juanita Bynum's messaging, sowing these seeds was not just a donation, it was a spiritual investment that could unlock divine favor, breakthrough, or personal miracles. She emphasized that these offerings were tied to specific spiritual promises, creating an urgency and a sense of exclusivity for those who participated. Social media clips show Bynum passionately instructing her audience on the importance of giving these exact amounts. She framed it as a matter of obedience, linking the act of sowing the seed directly to receiving blessings. Followers who have shared their experiences online claimed that giving these amounts led to personal breakthroughs, some financial, some spiritual, and some highly anecdotal. However, not everyone was convinced. Critics quickly pointed out the specificity of the numbers. Why 1,033? Why 333? Some suggest that the unusual amounts were designed to catch attention, create buzz, and generate viral discussion, while others question whether the messaging exploited followers' faith for financial gain. Skeptics have also raised concerns about transparency. Where exactly does the money go, and how is it being used within her ministry? Despite the controversy, many of her followers defended the practice, sharing testimonies that reinforced Juanita Bynum's messaging. Some argued that the results they experienced were undeniable, crediting faith and divine favor rather than the act of giving itself. Others admitted they gave out of trust in her spiritual authority, hoping that their obedience would yield blessings. What made this situation even more explosive was the timing. The 1,033 and $333 seed offering emerged just as Juanita Bynum's online presence had surged, with live streams, social media engagements, and virtual conferences drawing tens of thousands of viewers. That combination of reach and the specificity of the numbers created a viral storm that the internet could not ignore. And just when it seemed like this was merely another controversial offering, whispers began circulating about potential scrutiny from financial and legal authorities, raising the stakes even higher. People began asking, could this miracle seed cross legal boundaries, or was it simply another viral moment in the world of modern ministry? This is where things get even more complicated because the story doesn't end with numbers and testimonies. There's another layer: claims, reactions, and evidence that has divided public opinion in ways that few anticipated. Once the $1,033 and $333 miracle seed offering went public, the response was immediate and explosive. Social media erupted with debates, memes, and heated commentary. For many, the idea of a precise monetary offering tied to spiritual blessings seemed unusual, if not outright exploitive. Within hours, discussions began trending on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, drawing attention from both supporters and critics. Supporters of Juanita Bynum flooded platforms with testimonies. Some shared personal stories of financial breakthroughs, a sudden promotion at work, resolution of long-term debts, or renewed hope during difficult times. For these donors, the miracle seed was framed as a spiritual exchange, a demonstration of obedience and faith that yielded measurable outcomes. Many of these testimonies were amplified on social media, often with screenshots, live stream clips, or hashtags linking them directly to Juanita Bynum's ministry. These stories reinforced the idea for some that the offering had divine legitimacy. However, not all experiences were positive. Several individuals reported financial strain after giving the specified amounts, expressing regret or frustration. For some, the expectation of miraculous returns created a psychological burden when immediate results failed to materialize. One social media user wrote, "I gave the $1,033 seed, hoping for a breakthrough, and nothing changed. Now I feel stuck and financially worse off than before." These posts sparked heated debates about faith, accountability, and the ethics of asking for money tied to promised blessings. Beyond individual experiences, there were whispers of internal disputes among groups of followers. In some online communities, disagreements emerged over whether the offering was legitimate, whether to continue giving, and how much faith should be invested in the promises attached. These disputes often became highly charged, with accusations of manipulation, blind obedience, or exploitation flying in all directions. The result is a fractured community where belief, skepticism, and personal financial outcomes collide. Financial transparency also became a central point of contention. While Juanita Bynum has consistently stated that donations support ministry operations and charitable initiatives, critics pointed to gaps in reporting, documentation, or clarity regarding how the funds are allocated. Former insiders hinted that some contributions may have been redirected for purposes outside of explicitly stated goals, though no definitive proof has surfaced. The ambiguity only fueled further skepticism, leading some media outlets and watchdog groups to issue cautionary statements about giving in high-pressure spiritual environments. The social fallout extended beyond financial concerns. Many followers reported experiencing tension with friends or family over the decision to participate in the miracle seed. Some faced ridicule or judgment for engaging in the offering, while others had to defend their spiritual choices to skeptical peers. This dynamic created a ripple effect, transforming a personal act of faith into a public talking point fraught with judgment and conflict. And as the personal, financial, and social dimensions intersected, the controversy escalated further. Memes, video reactions, and online commentary transformed what could have been a private spiritual exercise into a viral phenomenon. Every testimony, positive or negative, was scrutinized, reshared, and debated, making it impossible for the narrative to remain contained. This is where the story reaches a critical turning point. What started as an offering framed as an act of faith has now developed into a multi-layered controversy touching on belief, accountability, social dynamics, and even potential legal implications. Followers, skeptics, and observers alike are left asking whether the miracle seed is truly spiritual, morally questionable, or even legally risky. And just when it seems the controversy has peaked, there's another shocking development, one that brings the story full circle and adds a level of suspense few anticipated. Certain reports suggest that the FBI or other authorities may be paying attention to financial and compliance aspects of the miracle seed, opening a new chapter that could dramatically affect both Juanita Bynum and her followers.